one of these two things? Is it reflecting the painkiller ability, or is it reflecting what? The vitamin ability. And this is starting product benefits. Are we together? Are we together? So in other words, in the conventional business out there, whenever they sell their stuff, they always depend on product features. That is, they expect you to buy from them because they believe the product is unique, it is nice. Can't you see that the tomato is fresh? Can't you see that this tomato, when you even go there, they tell you, the tomato is fresh. They tell you that the tomato is red enough. They tell you all sorts of stuff. And all they are telling you revolves around product features. And the truth is that you don't care. Why? Because what you really need is either what? A painkiller or what? A vitamin. So if the seller knows what to do, the seller has knowledge. The seller will look at you and the seller will say, this lady does not care if it is red or white or orange or green. No. She just cares if it solves her problem. So what do? I look for her problem. And I tell her that this thing is the solution to what? Her problem. So when I'm telling her the tomato is red, this can't you see how fresh it is? You tell her this tomato, look at the fluid that is coming out. If you put it in your pot, it's going to give you a unique kind of taste. Look at this tomato and look at that tomato. It is different. Why? Rather than telling her the color is red, that this one is redder than you tell her that the color shows that when you put it in your food, it's going to give you a unique kind of taste. Now that appeals to the person. Why? Because it is a what? It's a painkiller problem. The person is looking out for something that will solve his or her problem directly. And as long as you're able to answer it, what happens? The person will be willing to pay anything for it. Are we together? Yeah. So we now see that what's the important lesson to learn in product presentation? When presenting your product, you don't present your product whatever you're doing at all. If they ask you pitch your idea, you don't pitch it based on the features. You don't say, I want a company which does this, that. No, you're talking about features. You don't say, I want a clothing store and we sell, handmade clothes that is made from nice fibers. We sew it and we make the clothes. It's stylish. We style the hands. You're talking what? Futures. You have to transcend futures and move into, the product benefits. We sew clothes. We make clothes that make the woman look more beautiful. How many of us know about House of Diola? Okay, House of Diola. Let me use Tara that everybody knows. Okay. Whenever you hear Tara talk about her product line, she never talks about it based on, I created this pancake. I'm sorry. What's this thing? Yes, foundation. Instead, so you never hear her say, I created this foundation and the foundation works. It has this and that. I got the ingredients from this. No, she never talks that way. What she says is, I created this to remove spots from women's faces. I created this to mask this social stuff. She never mentions what she did, what she utilized in the process of the product. Rather, she always talks about how the product affects you as a person. And this is how great brands sell. So, whenever we're walking on the street now, you'll notice something. When you see Coca-Cola, the poster of Coca-Cola, now nothing stops them from telling that, Coca-Cola was made from this, that. The way good advertising made from the finest of barley, the finest of gold. They never do that. Rather, what do they say? If milk tastes nice with Coke. You see that? They tell you stuff like quench your thirsts with a bottle of Coke. They tell you, you see even cigarette. You see adverts, you understand, like stuff, like all this stuff, like there was one I saw, one weird one. But whatever adverts you see, you always notice that it is always targeted at you. In other words, you look at it and you find yourself personalizing it. And that is how great brands sell. They always sell, never by talking about their product. Nobody cares about how many hours, how many days, how many weeks you spent on a mountain getting the idea for the product. Nobody cares about it. What they care about is, does it solve my problem? That's why you tell them, after you have told them everything, it was made from this, they ask you, how much is it worth? Why? That is the question that answers their problem. So product presentation. Are we together? Now, still on product presentation, there are strategies that companies use when presenting their product. Now, one of the sad realities is that whenever people want to talk, I had to learn this over time as a in my company and stuff. I had to learn how to present my product, how to pitch my idea, how to pitch my business. And I learned that you don't pitch your business again based on pitching what you do. Nobody cares about what you do. What they care about is how what you do affects them, or how it affects the people they care about. It's important for us to understand that man is naturally selfish. So everything you do must revolve around him. And this is why the great players of the game play it well. Because they know how to play their game to the tastes of their observers. So a comedian comes on stage and he knows that something might be funny to him, but he doesn't care about it. He spends hours practicing something that may not even be funny to him. Why? Because he knows that this is what the people want. This is what is funny to them. So it might not be funny to him, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is it funny to them? So in selling your product, in selling your idea, whatever you do, your foundation, whatever, you don't go about saying, my name is this, my name is God's Favor, I run a company, and we enable stores sell. It's an e-commerce. You don't do that. Now, what you do is, number one, you learn to tell a story. You learn to tell a story. Now, why do you tell a story? Now, do we notice that? Check the things you remember now. Check the things you learned in high school, in secondary school, in primary school. You'll notice that in primary school, the primary means of our learning process was about stories. The primary means. That was why they gave us the reader textbooks that they gave us. Why? Because stories stick to the mind. Stories stay in the memory more than any other thing. And why the stories stick to the mind? They stick to the mind because stories conjure pictures. And not just that it conjures pictures, it fixes you in the place or in the state of the person that is being talked about. So Coca-Cola could say, they could have just come out and they would say, hey, this is what we sell. It's really nice. You will love the taste. Buy it. But rather than doing that, they tell you a story. Say, a meal tastes nice with Coca-Cola. By telling you that, you naturally find yourself imagining you eating. And with you eating, you're like, wow, is it really true that this meal will taste nice with Coca-Cola? So by doing that, they've done something, they've hacked your mind. In other words, they've taken a place in your mind by seizing your memory. And this is exactly what we need to do. So whenever we are presenting our business, whenever we are presenting whatever we are doing, it's important to present it through telling about not the product features, but the product benefits in what? In a story format. And then number two, it's also important to capitalize on fears. In other words, many of the greatest brands that really sell, they sell not because they just advertise the product, the benefits of the product. They also sell because they advertise the fears you're running away from. So rather than telling you that this phone, buy this phone. Now watch, please everybody, let's see this experiment. I want you to just watch and observe this. Which of these catches your attention the more? Buy this phone because with this phone you can use it to contact anybody, anywhere, at any time. That's number one advert. Number two advert. Buy this phone because if you don't buy this phone, you will find yourself wanting to pass that information to your friend and having no means to do it. Which one catches your attention the more?
The second one.
Should I try it again? Yes. Okay, let me use another stuff. Okay. Yes. Let me use this. I want to use something that is not so common. Okay. Buy these remotes. Okay, let me reverse the order. Buy these remotes because if you don't buy these remotes, you will find yourself wanting to change the station on the TV set and not being able to. Or slash. That's one slash. Buy this remote because this remote will enable you to change your station on the TV set. Which one catches your attention the more? Number one. Why? Because the number one capitalized on your fear. It did something to your heart. It's painted an imagery that made you, if you don't do this thing, this will happen to you. So it buys your attention times two. Because it makes you feel like, wow, if I don't offer this, if I don't get this thing, if I don't listen to what you guys say, the consequence, and you know what about the consequence? We as humans, we are naturally programmed to fear. Why? Our body, our habitual systems, our instincts is all geared towards survival. Now, because our system, our body mechanism, our hormonal system, our neuronal system, everything is channeled, is built towards ensuring that you are surviving. It means your body is hypersensitive. It is always alert towards danger. That is why if I shout, snake, 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 yeah, and that's it. So if I shout, snake, 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 you find yourself jumping off. You find yourself reacting instinctively. Why? Your body is automatically in survival mode. It is always in survival mode. So in marketing, in selling your products, it's now the wiser thing, it's the wiser bargain to use the fact that you're always in survival mode to constantly sell your product. So they come to you and they tell you, rather than telling you buy this thing because it will do this for you, it will do that for you, they tell you what will happen to you if you don't buy it. And by telling you what will happen to you if you don't buy it, and tell that this is the only solution, and you don't know what makes it worse when they now tell that it is limited. It creates the wants. Thank you. So you now find good companies go after seeking, satisfying people's wants. Great companies create the wants, then satisfy the wants. And this is why good products don't sell in great products don't always sell in the market. What sells in the market are good products that was well managed. In other words, good products that was well managed with strategy. So you see, but we are doing the same thing. We're selling the same business. We're doing the same business. Yet he's selling more than I'm selling. Why? He's managing his well via strategies. And one of the strategies we're talking about is capitalizing on people's fear. It is one of the most powerful strategies for business. You want to sell whatever you're selling, don't tell them what they want to hear. Don't tell them how nice what you're doing is. Tell them the repercussion. Tell them what will happen to them if they are not a part of what you are doing. You buy their attention. Because humans are always on what? Survival mode. So we together. So the next thing now is what? Product monetization. How do we monetize? So we have learned how to present our product. We've learned that in presenting your product, you have to, number one, you have to tell a story. You have to, show them not the product features, but the product what? Benefits. Nobody cares about the future. Nobody cares. It's boring. You're talking and you are just waiting for you to finish up. What we care about is how does what you're selling apply to you? Why should I buy this book? There are many books in the world. Why should I give your book? How does it concern me? That's what we want to find out. Product benefits. Now we've now learned that it's not enough to just talk about product benefits. We have to put it in what? In a story format. Why? Because we want the benefits of the product to be entrenched in the person's memories. And more importantly, we want the person to feel first-handedly what you're talking about. So you don't want to talk to the person and the person is hearing it like it was you who said it. You're talking to the person and the person is lost in what you're saying. The person can literally feel himself or herself in what you're saying. So the person is experiencing it first-handed. And then number two, we now realize that it's not just that it's not enough to talk about product benefits and it's not enough to tell stories. It's important to what? Capitalize on what? On fear. When you capitalize on fear, what happens is that the person now is in the story. The person can see how what you're talking about directly affects the person. But more importantly, you're giving the person something to hold away from. So the person sees you as a savior and sees your product as the only solution to the demise that could befall him anytime if he does not listen to you. And this is how good products present. And with this, tell me, at the end of the day, you find out that a shabby product, a product that is not so good, will sell even more than the product that is so great that the owner expects that, everybody will see is great. Now, you know what that saying that they used to say, that if it's so good that it sells itself, is a lie. There's no product that is so good that it sells itself, is a lie. It's something is, okay, that's the next thing I'm talking about, that sells the products. I want to